Oh, it would be good if I had a little bit of sound here, right, guys? I'll restart everything. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evolutionary Church. You didn't get any of what I just said. I am in Portland, Oregon, with the beautiful Barbara Marks Hubbard and Mark Goffney. We are at the Movement Center and spending some time for the 3 days with an amazing group of people, our accelerators, we call them. We've been on an evolutionary journey. Can we hear a little noise for the crowd? Yeah. Okay, that was what you didn't hear before. Okay, Center, we are in church now. Okay. So welcome once again, everyone, to Evolutionary Church. It's delightful to be with you here today. In Evolutionary Church, our mission is a planetary awakening in love through a unique self-symphony. And together, we declare that the last day of the old face of evolution is honored as the first day of the new face of creation. I am Lisa Ingalls, the co-executive director of the Center for Integral Wisdom. I am your moderator and the executive producer of this amazing, gorgeous gathering that we do every week called Evolutionary Church. And in Evolutionary Church, we are connected, we are whole, we are expressions of the entire process of creation, and we are activating a new humanity. We are awakening as a new species that we call Homo Amore Universalis. And we are a church, we're a synagogue, we're a mosque, a temple, a zendo. Everyone is included. No one is excluded. Even atheists are included, as one of our accelerators let me point it out to me. That's true. Everyone is included. And we come together to attune to the evolutionary impulse that is awakening in us, as us, and through us. So welcome home, everyone. We're so delighted to be with you here again. As I said, Barbara, Mark, and myself and this small group of accelerators are all at the Movement Center in Portland, Oregon. That's where we're joining you from today. If you haven't let us know in the chat box where you're joining us from, go ahead and do that now. As a little bit of a reminder, when you chat in the chat box, just remember to click on chat to all panelists and attendees, not just all panelists, so that everybody can see your chat. Quick announcement for those of you that are Evolutionary Church Collective members. Next week, I believe it's next Wednesday is, sorry, in a couple Wednesdays, May 30th, I'll just say that, May 30th at 4:00 p.m. Pacific time is our private Q&A with Barbara and Mark. So make sure you mark your calendars for that. And really quick, what we'll be going over in the Q&A, our assignment for this month was to read chapter 11 in Your Unique Self and chapters 2 and 3 in Conscious Evolution. If you aren't a member of the collective and you do want to join, if you do want to be a part of our monthly study group and get that private Q&A with Barbara and Mark, there's always a link in our replay email for you to find out more about how to become a member of Evolutionary Church. This broadcast is being recorded and will be sent out to you probably by Monday this week, only because we're a little bit tight on our staff this week, and getting the replay out to you it's going to take just a day longer than usual. So thanks for your patience in that, but the replay will be available to you. So we're going to head now into our Dharma recap. As we always do, we begin with our Dharma recap, move into our resonance. Barbara sets the resonant field for us, and then Mark moves into prayer. We do prayer together, and then we move into our messages for the day with Barbara and Mark, and then we end, and we have a little surprise ending for you. So do stay till the end of our broadcast today. So welcome, everyone. We are in week 83 of Evolutionary Church. And for the first time, we have a statement of identity that's actually true for all living beings, for all living things, whether plant, animal, human. And it's equally as true, the statement is equally as true for organized groups of people, including businesses and societies. And that statement that we talked about last week, our evolutionary love code last week was, I am a unique configuration of intimacy that's desired by all of reality. Now, to understand what it means to be a unique configuration of intimacy desired by all of reality, by God, we need to define intimacy. And if you've been coming to Evolutionary Church, you know that our definition of intimacy is a shared identity. So intimacy means that we have a shared identity. We have the same identity. Humans, as Mark was saying last week, for all intents and purposes, we all have belly buttons, he said. We all have eyes and ears and 2 hands and fingers and toes and all of that stuff. We breathe and we have blood and we have organs in our body. So we're all the same. But so in one respect, God actually desired us to all be the same, to have this shared identity. On the other hand, and at the same time, right, each of us is irreducibly unique. We each have a unique perspective, which gives rise to our unique insights and then to our unique gifts. So God desires our irreducible uniqueness. So therefore, we can say without a doubt that I am a unique configuration of intimacy that's desired by all of reality. Now let's take this one step further, as Mark and Barbara did last week. In Evolutionary Church, we often refer to God as the infinity of intimacy, which means, this is really gorgeous. If you really got what was said last week, God shares our identity. And God is infinite. The infinite, as Mark always says, is always intimate, not indifferent, as science would like to tell us. So God is the infinity of intimacy, so that when we feel pain, God feels pain. When we feel ecstatic joy, God feels ecstatic joy. When we fall in love, God falls in love. So our holy and our broken hallelujah always matters to the infinity of intimacy. Nothing is lost. And each of us is a unique configuration of intimacy that's intended, that's chosen, that's recognized and desired and needed and loved by all of reality. So with that, I invite us all to enter into the sacred and the holy space of Evolutionary Church as Barbara sets the resonant field for us. Barbara, I hand it over to you, and I will unmute you here. And I think you might need to unmute yourself. We will unmute you. There we go.
There. I am unmuted. Our meme today is power is holy. Power is holy. I am, we are the impulse of evolution in person. So power of the impulse of evolution in person is who we are incarnating. I am, we are the genius of evolution in person. The power of the genius of evolution through the billions of years of creativity is inherent in me personally. I'm gorgeously brilliant. Wow. I am, we are a spiritual community of co-creators joining genius with one another, whose genius is the power the holy power of evolution joining. Genius. Do you realize how powerful our Holy Communion is when we recognize that that power is the impulse of evolution in you and me? I am internalizing the holy power of evolution into my heart. My heart is awakening with the power of evolution as holy love. Feel into the holiness of the power of the impulse of love within you when you say, yes, let's go the whole way. The power is holy, awakening in me the evolutionary blueprint that is evolving my body, my mind, my soul, my world, and imbuing me with the holy power to bring forward the holy church of evolutionary love for the first time on earth. Power is holy as it runs through the church of evolutionary love and every one of us in it. And I turn my word to Mark. Can't hear you. Can't hear.
Okay, Mark, I am, there you go.
Yeah. I'm waiting for Holy Lisa to unmute me. Amen. Amen, amen, amen. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, thank you. We are getting unmuted one by one. And you should have seen Barbara doing Qigong this morning. Oh my God, what were you, an owl and a wolf? Or something like that? Oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, and Lisa, leave us both unmuted so Barbara and I can talk to each other for a second if we want to. Okay, love? That'd be awesome. That'd be great. What were you this morning, B?
An owl and a bear.
An owl and a bear. Okay.
An owl on my head while I was a bear.
Yay. An owl and a bear. Oh my gosh. 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 Welcome. An owl and a bear. Welcome, owls and bears. We are in week 83, right, of Evolutionary Church. And we are delighted and we are ecstatic because we are the power of reality, right? The power of reality is awakened in us. And we're gathered here in Portland. And we're here to complete a year-long planetary accelerator in its first version. We're going to be doing it again. And we are setting an intention. And the intention is that we are creating the new church. And the church is the new synagogue. It's the new secular humanist center. It's the new mosque, right? It's the new ashram, right? It's the new Presbyterian. Those Presbyterians, you guys got to wake up. Unitarians, let's get some rock and roll happening. We're the new gospel, right? As we are bringing together the understanding that that which unites us is so much greater than that which divides us. But that's not enough to say. We're actually bringing down the new source code. What we'll do now, Lisa, is we'll now mute Barbara because we're just kind of getting the background noise. So sorry for the contradictory messages, but we'll kind of mute on and off. You're awesome. Thank you so, so much. Right? We're bringing down this new source code vision. Our intention in church is no less to participate together in the evolution of the source code of culture and consciousness. And the source code of culture and consciousness is love, but not love in an ordinary sense, not love in that harlequin romance sense, but love in the sense of what we call outrageous love, right? Or evolutionary love, right? The love that Dante said moves the sun and other stars, right? The love that Tagore said is not mere human sentiment, but the heart of existence itself. And every week, there's a moment that we go inside. Remember last week, I was sitting with Barbara and Maria, and we were sitting in my apartment, and we said, what's the code tomorrow? And I went inside, and I literally heard her say, I just literally heard the words, right? I am a unique configuration of intimacy desired by all of reality. And as Barbara and I bring together, right, all of the whispers that we've together heard over a lifetime, and we share these intimate whispers, we realize that these intimate whispers are part of an evolutionary source code, right? It's a part of the evolutionary love codes, the evolutionary structural codes of reality. They're not metaphor. They're not poetry, although they may be occasionally and gorgeously poetic, but they are the very prose and interior science of reality itself. So it's not a New Age claim, nor is it a poetic claim. We're actually using the eye of the spirit, as well as the hard sciences, which is the eye of the mind, to create a shared story, but not a made-up story, actually the deepest evolutionary story that we have, that as a hard scientist, as a molecular biologist, as a physicist, and as a social worker, and as a kindergarten teacher, and as a president or vice president or a prime minister of any country in the world, you can actually listen to and understand and say, yes, that is the best understanding of reality we have. And for the first time, we're saying at this moment in history, when we're all interconnected and when all of the challenges are global, we need a global story, right? The old narrow stories won't work, right? The claim that there is no story won't work. We need a shared story of meaning, right? A shared source code understanding to allow us to love each other and to love the moment open, to love reality open at this moment in time, so that the extraction model and exponential growth, which then drops off a cliff, won't actually take the planet down, but instead our crisis becomes a birth, and we can actually turn this moment in history into heaven on earth. Oh my God. And so the code that came down this week, when we went inside, is power is holy. Wow. B, as you said so well, let me quote you. Wow, right? Right, wow. Besides the fact that we're an owl and a wolf, but oh my God, right? Power is holy. Wow. I mean, does everyone get that? Right? I am, said Barbara so beautifully, as she kind of started. And what we do is first the code comes down, right? Either I bring it down, I hear it, or Barbara hears it. So this week I was standing with Lisa, and I heard those words, power is holy. And then we offer commentary on the code. So Barbara said, right, the first piece of commentary, right, which is, oh, the evolutionary impulse that lives alive and awake in me. So friends, just listen to this. Right, I wrote a couple of years about power, and that's why we're joining together here, right? Right? Is the evolutionary impulse weak? I don't think so. Is the evolutionary impulse insipid? I don't think so. Is the evolutionary impulse bland and powerless? And is the evolutionary impulse politically correct and hypersensitive? I don't think so. What is the evolutionary impulse? It is raw power. And what we've done is, my friends, we've demonized power. Right? Anyone who exerts power is thought to be bad. We've identified power with its abuse. The second we hear the word power, we hear abuse of power. But abuse of power is not power. Abuse of power is the shadow of power. Does everyone get that? But actually, what the interior sciences all knew, that one of the qualities of cosmos, right? The old interior sciences used to call it God, right? God's a good word. The God you don't believe in doesn't exist. God is the infinity of power, not only who is without, but who's within cosmos. You ever thought about a supernova? Are supernovas weak? Supernovas are a fraction, an infinitesimal fraction of the actual power, right, of infinity, desiring finitude that manifests as a Big Bang. And who started that whole thing? Who started the whole story? We did. Where were you at the moment of the Big Bang? Where could you have been other than right there? Right? And that power lives in us. And it lives in us uniquely. We are all unique expressions of the infinity of power. And it's about time that we reclaim power as holy. Because when we don't, we're actually denying an essential quality of our being. And what happens, my friends, when we deny an essential quality of our being? It goes into shadow. We split it off, it goes into shadow, and we claim to be politically correct, sweet, lovely people. No, power, we're not interested in power at all. No, we don't like power. You're lying. You love power. Power is awesome, but not power over, power for. Does everyone get that distinction? When I'm not actually exercising power for, I need power over. Power is hot, right? So I want power not over, right? Power for, but for the sake of. And actually the culture of victimhood denies a person's essential power. And the claim is, I have power because I'm powerless. Does everyone get that? Right? Oh my God, right? I'm innocent, but I'm also impotent, right? The price of innocence is impotence. When people tell me, oh, I was innocent, well, then you're powerless. If you're powerless, why are we playing, right? Let me feel your power, right? I don't want to be innocent. Innocent is impotent. To be potent means I've got power. I'm in the game, right? So that matters. You see, when we bring our holy and broken hallelujah before the divine, that holds us and that lives in us, as we do every week and as we're about to do right now, we're not coming only as broken vessels, lacking any power. We're saying, God, give us power. Give us power to experience our full dignity. Give us power to serve. Give us power to be in devotion. Give us power to love, because that's all power. Power is not abuse. That's the abuse of power, right? And here's the last sentence. As we go into our hymn for this week, and we bring the tragedy of our loss of power before God. When we say to God, right, hold my holy and broken hallelujah, we say, oh my God, we lost power. We want to regain our power, right? Not in its shadow side, and its glory and its elixir, the elixir of power. You know, remember Jimi Hendrix? Oh my God, how can you not love Jimi Hendrix, right? Bless him, died at 26, right? So Jimi Hendrix made him, and we love him madly. And that Star Spangled Banner at Woodstock was like off the charts, and like, oh my God, it's worth being alive just to hear that, right? Tom Goddard, oh my God. But listen to this. He made one mistake. So Jimmy, little apology here. Jimmy said, the world's going to kind of make it when we get that the power of love is greater than the love of power. And Jimmy's mistake was he made power and love opposites. No, right? Love is power, and power is love. They're actually the same quality. Right? When there's no love, then there's the shadow of power. But true love is radical, wild, gorgeous power. So this is the moment in Evolutionary Church. As a church, we claim our power, right? And we pledge in radical ecstasy and devotion to use every bit of power in us till our dying breath to participate together in the evolution of love. And with that, we take our holy and our broken hallelujah, the moments when we couldn't feel our power, and we bring it before them. Oh my God, welcome. Thank you. Oh my God, let's go to the chat box, my friends. Let's go to the chat box, and this is the moment that we offer prayer, right? And we ask for everything. We come before the divine and we say, give us power. And here's the question, here's the prayer for this week. Give me power. God, I ask you to give me power for, and ask what you want power for, okay? So I pray to the universe, ask specifically for power. Okay, we're gonna pray this week if we can for power. And the language of prayer that we wanna impress on the cosmos is, I ask for power for, right? To heal my Uncle Morris, right? I ask God's power, right, to heal my Uncle Morris. Right? So let's go to the chat box, my friends. I want power, right? I don't wanna be powerless and broken. I wanna feel power of the evolutionary impulse in me, power for my life, for my beloveds, right? For the planet, I pray to be powerfully unique me, right? I ask power to heal myself. Give me power to heal myself and my beloved friends and family, right? I pray for the power, Priscilla says, for fuller and fuller expression of the evolutionary impulse as me and through me. Gare, I pray for the power to open my wife's heart. Bill, praying for the power to demonstrate my unique gifts of intimacy and relationships and community. Linda, I pray to the universe to give me my power back, right? And take it back, Linda, and serene happiness. Donna, I pray for the people of Santa Fe. Inika, God, give me power to heal communication with Paul. Priscilla, I pray for all who are suffering the illusion of powerlessness. Shahati, I ask for power to create structures where people can discover and deepen their unique contribution to this world. Mercy, I ask for the power to heal myself. Thank you. I pray for the power to have trust. Friends, right? What an invitation. Go to the chat box and pray for power. I pray, says Lisa, that God gives me power to live in outrageous love, the power to stay in my brokenness so I can move into deeper and deeper love. Marielle, I ask for power to be tuned in my body and my husband. Simona, I pray for the power to live my evolutionary unique self. Glenna, I pray for power, right? Too, I pray for, where did it go? I pray for power to navigate my son's college graduation this week with grace and love. Arye, I ask for power to heal Mother Earth. Arya, you went away. Hold on one second. Bring me back to Arya. We were right in the middle there. Where did Arya go? Okay. For Tom, and ask for God's power to transform my home into a desert retreat center. Tava me, God, give me my power to serve my soul tribe and clients, right? Enoch, pray for power to build up sessions with people, right? Feel the prayer, my friends. We're asking God for power. We're saying to God, invest your power in me in a way that I can feel it. And God's saying to us, claim your power. Claim the fullness of your power. Claim the dignity of your power. Because there's nothing more dangerous in the world than a person who says they're powerless. Right? Because then the power acts out all sorts of shadow forms. Claim the dignity and divinity and delight of your power for your full participation, my full participation, our full participation. Rosa, last one, I ask for power to open the hearts I touch, right? Oh my God. And I turn the word to you, beloved Barbara, a wolf and a lamb and a, oh my God. Oh my God. Welcome.
Yes, power is holy, Mark. And power is holy desire. Because where does our power come from? But from that which we most deeply desire. Because it's not just external power. We're talking here about internal power. And I want to explore with us in holy. And for a moment, imagine the entire wheel of co-creation, and go into the heart of the hub of the wheel and see that core of the spiral going into the heart of the hub of the wheel and into your heart. So the first thing to get the power is to feel the power of the impulse of evolution as your desire, because it comes out uniquely as you. It doesn't come out as desire in general. It comes out as your deepest heart's desire, but not as a separated self lost in the field of yearning that is impossible. No, it's coming out in you as the impulse of creation that's creating everything uniquely in this moment, including yourself. So let's, in this sermon now, spend a moment going into your deepest heart's desire and experiencing it as the impulse of the holy power of evolution inside you. I would like anyone who, as you're doing this, to write on the chat, my deepest power of desire, my holy power of desire uniquely is, and say what it is on the chat. Maria, we love the new wheel because it's got all of Mark's memes and my memes. It's a living system. We finally have it. And we are putting Homo Amore Universalis across the very center of the wheel of co-creation at the hub of the wheel. So when you come forward to express your holy power of desire, place it as yourself becoming Homo Amore Universalis. From Homo sapiens sapiens to Homo Amore Universalis, that happens to you through your heart's desire and holy power of desire. My holy power of desire, says Shot, is to be of service for the goddess. Yes. All the way, says Shot. When you say all the way, that's a lot. Who else feels the holy power of desire specifically? Medea, the more specific you can make it. My heart's desire is to fulfill my soul in, boom, make it clear, make it specific. My deepest heart's desire is to be in love with life, to be in love with all, in service to the awakening process. How, Priscilla? Let your deepest heart's desire at the hub of the wheel of co-creation tell you how it would like you to express yourself. Because holy power has to be specific. It's actually not, I'm powerful in general, I'm just here I am. How am I powerful? How is my power holy? Well, right now, it's holy because it's attempting to see the power in you. Medea was not finished with the sentence. My sole intention and desire is to, I'm using Ivan's computer, is to, okay, we're waiting. Medea, as soon as you're ready, I am using Ivan's computer, is my soul. Get in touch with your deepest heart's desire and see it as the holy power of evolution arising in you. Because how else would the power, the holy power of evolution, arise specifically in you and me? It doesn't just arise in general. Oh, I'm part of the powerful expression of the divine in the universe. No, it's in me. It's in you. And then in the evolutionary church, it's in us. And this is what Mark and I mean by joining genius. If you're really going to join genius, in the heart of the power of your genius is the power of holy evolution. Isn't it? Did you create your own genius? Did you make it up one day? Oh, my genius. No, you are that. Okay. Marielle, my holy desire is to serve the planetary awakening in love. Oh, here she goes. By evolving and transmitting the art of making love, and I'd love to co-create codes for making love. That will be popular, Marielle. Oh, codes for making holy love. There's a big beauty. Wow. My deepest heart's desire, says Terry, is to empower people to be committed, to be ever more conscious, competent, and complex. Terry, tell us how you feel as more conscious, competent, and complex yourself. Wow, let's feel it. Let's feel it, Terry. I'm feeling it in you, Terry. I actually am, because I know you. That is to say, at the heart of the hub of the wheel, your holy desire for others is now being liberated for you. Often what we're desiring for others is really what we have to give to ourselves in order to give it to others. You cannot give it to others without giving to yourself, really. Holy power is holy. My deepest heart's desire is, And I am now empowered by the impulse of evolution going through the entire spiral from the origin of creation to us in this holy church, creating a vehicle for the power of evolution to come through us to co-create the world. Yes? Is that true? I wish I would own a crystal ball. Loving. Oh, Terry says loving. Okay, Terry, I am feeling loving with Terry. See, just think what's on this list. This is actually great. Linda says, yes, Barbara. I'll tell you something more about discovering your heart's desire. The closer you get to it, Terry, the closer you get to your evolutionary blueprint of genius. Your unique genius resides in your holy desire to create, express, and love, however you say it. In other words, the uniqueness of our unique genius, how do we actually contact it? How do we actually get it all the way out? Most of us have that blueprint of unique potential held within ourselves without ever. And you know, like if I let mine out the whole way, it's awesome. I mean, it's almost embarrassing. So I don't do it often. But in the church, I could. I think the blueprint of my heart's desire when I get into it is the awakening of humanity in a unique self-symphony. And therefore, this means that my unique evolutionary potential is to do that. In other words, I couldn't have the deepest heart's desire for it unless I had the genius to do it. Wow. Yeah, wonderfully selfish. The getting is the getting. This is right, Terry. Terry, my heart's desire, says Priscilla, to be calm. Well, when I lost it, Priscilla. Yeah, Lynn Mystic, the need to unite for earth, loving, 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 loving. Oh, the silliness of letting it out the whole way. Okay, all right. Okay, everybody. Alex, I desire to help change culture. How are you going to do this, Alex? There's the blueprint of your heart's desire, Alex. I desire. Good, great. The evolutionary blueprint now is coming out for you, Alex. How are you going to do it? Everybody.
And Barbara, do you have power to make a contribution?
Well, that's where I was just getting to, Mark.
I knew it.
Where I'm getting to is the desire in my heart to give my gift the whole way, which is in everybody's heart, has a blueprint inside itself that is my potential to do that, that's uniquely mine. But I cannot do this all by myself, no matter how great I am. I need the holy power of the Holy Communion, of the Holy Church. Let's contribute to the church being the source of bringing together the holy power of each of us to come out the whole way individually and collectively, such that the church itself has a collective holy power and holy desire, doesn't it? Which is a culture of evolutionary love, a culture of co-creativity for humanity. I contribute my highest degree of resources that I can to resource the Church of Evolutionary Love. And Lisa, I know that you have right there a place for people to click on. Do we have? I'm just looking for it, Lisa.
I do.
Is it right there?
Right in the chat box. It's there a couple of times. It's a blue.
Okay, great. Contribution. There it is. All right. So help us to resource Evolutionary Church. Your contribution makes a difference. Okay. All right. And I'm going to add this last wonderful thought as you make your contribution to the church. As Christina says, my heart's desire is for all to know the feeling of being held. So let's say right now in the Church of Evolutionary Love, I have the feeling of being held as I am resourcing all of us to fulfill our heart's desire for a culture of love and creativity in which we are fully expressed. And so be it. I turn my word to you, Mark.
Thank you, beloved. Amen. Friends, let's pick up the word and let's open our heart and let's make some critical distinctions here. When we talk about power, we talk about the history of power. And we talked about this weekend last night, but let's really get this in a deep way. In the pre-modern world, and maybe we'll mute Barbara so we'll be able to kind of we want to mute you, beautiful Holy One, but we're going to mute you just so we'll be able to not hear the interference. Thank you. Awesome. In the pre-modern world before the Renaissance, right, where did power reside? It resided with God. And our job was to recognize that we were powerless and to be in obedience. And then to do what we could to be ethical and to be kind and to operate with God's gift of power to us. And that's beautiful. It was beautiful, it was limited because it also emasculated human power. It emasculated the human being participating as a partner with God in the healing and transformation of the world. And there were those human beings, churches and governments and khans and emperors and caliphs, right, who said, we own God's power, and they abused that power. So along came modernity and said, no, power lives with the human being. That the human being needs to exert human power. David and Michelangelo's David, right? There's a complete shift in our worldview of power, and human power needs to step in, right? And in this Promethean spirit, heal and transform the world. And that unleashed gorgeousness in the world in many and stunning and beautiful ways. And all of modern science and all of third-person perspective and all of modern medicine, all of it and all of technology, right, was unleashed through this claiming of human power. And at the same time, right, by honoring human power, we began to find our way to honoring human dignity. And for the first time in the history of planet Earth, we had a vision of universal human rights. Gorgeous. But then it went too far, right? Just like there was an overreach of power on the part of those claiming to represent God before the Renaissance, pre-modernity. In modernity, there was an overreach of power. And we wound up with an atom bomb dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki without a story of power that was equal to the tragedy of power's devastation. And we didn't talk about the hidden ways in which the human ego hijacks power. And we didn't talk about that which drives military industrial complexes. Not that, as someone wrote in the chat box, all military power is bad. All military power is tragic that we need it. But as I was talking to my friend, the Dalai Lama, right, some years ago, sitting right in his room with him in Dharamsala, in a world of tragedy, in a world which is gorgeous, but not yet fully liberated, we still do occasionally need military power. Right, the boys who stormed the beach of Normandy and gave up their lives deploying military power were not being pacifists because that was the only choice that existed in the world at that time. Let us come to a place in the world where military power is a joke and unnecessary. But the deployment of power for the sake of healing and transformation, when absolutely necessary, is always holy. Right? But my friends, what are we looking for? We're looking for a new form of power. Right? Modernity's notion of power resides only in the human being doesn't work because the human being is a separate self, a skin-encapsulated ego. And even if we join together, how much power do we really have? Let's be honest. Oh my God. Until we wake up, right, and we actually realize, after we realize the brilliance of postmodernity's critique of power, which I talked about, the hidden power motives, right, power run amok. And that's where we got to. Postmodernity brought us to the understanding of the terror of the abuses of power. But postmodernity gave us a new vision of power. So here, my friends in the Evolutionary Church, we are here to articulate, right, the evolution of God, because that is her intention, and the evolution of love, because that's her intention, and to reclaim, right, a new field of language and a new field of prayer and a new field of power. What we're doing in the Evolutionary Church together, which is the Evolutionary Synagogue and Mosque and Secular Humanist Center, right? What we're doing together is reclaiming the words. We're reinvigorating, we're evolving the language, and we're reclaiming the word power. We're participating in the new narrative of power, in the new vision of power. And the new vision of power is, right, my power is not merely my power as a separate self. My power is not merely my power as a encapsulated ego. It's not even my power to join together and collaborate with others. That's important. That's lovely. It's critical. But that's not quite it. My power is the evolutionary impulse awake and alive in me. My power is the pulsing power that initiated the Big Bang, right? That's actually pulsing and throbbing in me. When I access the fullness of my power, and oh my God, my beloved evolutionary partner in this enterprise, Barbara said it's almost embarrassing, right? Right? You go and watch Superman. I mean, just between us, don't tell anyone, okay? You go and watch Superman. Whose job do you want? Superman. You're like, really? Why is that his job? Isn't that my job? Really? Wonder Woman. Hello, Wonder Woman. You get that? Right? But that's not our pathology. Right? That's not our grandiosity. That's actually the true measure of who we are. We are powerful beyond measure. And until we get the power of our prayer and the power of our action, because all of us in one way or another, and I want you to get this with me, we take ourselves out, right? We make ourselves innocent, but not second holy innocence, but a first innocence, the price of which is impotence. We've got to reclaim potency. We got to reclaim our power. We got to reclaim the poetry of our power. Not power over, power for. And stay with me for a second. You know what the deepest power is? Right? The deepest power is surrender. It takes enormous power to surrender. It's enormous power to know the limits of my power. It's enormous power to know the true nature and true measure of my power. So in relationship, and in relationship to world and to self, I want to exert the full glory of my power, and I want to exert the power of surrender at the same time. So I want to invite us all into the chat box. And to actually, let's write into the chat box. Ready? I am power. To actually claim my power all the way. So I want to invite all of us, right, to write into the chat box the truth of our identity. Right? And let's do it together. Right? Simona and Shahat, right, and Gabi, right, and every single person here. Let's find our way into the chat box and kind of claim I am power. And if I'm not willing to write it, and I'm not willing to claim it, it's going to come out in shadow ways. It's going to come out sideways, right? With that I am power, we're impressing it on the lips of God. We're reclaiming the dignity and the divinity of power in this moment. I am power, says Lord, says Marcy, says Kirsten, right? Says Inika, scroll me, right? I am power, Reverend Gear. I am power, Nina, right? I am power, Gabi. I am power, Linda. I am power, Alex. I am power, Melinda. I am power, Christina. I am power, Bill. I claim the power and the dignity of my deepest desires, right? I am power, Tavia. I am power, Rose. I am power, right? Feel that quality. Now stay with me, right? Power and desire are intimately linked. As Barbara and I were talking last night together with our holy, gorgeous company, right? Because feel desire for a second, okay? Feel desire rising in you. Now find for a moment sexual desire, right? Feel that moment where you felt intense sexual desire. It's got nothing to do with acting it out. Some sexual desire should be acted out. Lots of it should be sublimated and re-expressed in gorgeous ways, right? But I want you to feel the power of it. So the core dharma is sexual just models eros. The source of power is not sex, it's eros. Eros is the surging power that courses through all of reality, seeking ever greater possibility, ever greater newness, ever greater potency, deeper configurations of intimacy. Reality is surging desire, and desire is power. But when we exile our desire to a particular fetishized sexual desire, beautiful as it may be, with as much dignity as it may have, gorgeous, honor it. And if it's appropriate and it works in the context of your life, play out, right, as an expression of God's desire. But when you isolate and exile, right, power, right, to the sexual, right, then power is in exile. Then the goddess is in exile. We got to access desire as the desire to actually, right, be transformation, be love, to be lived as love, right? I want to have an expression of gorgeous, unique impact that's mine to have, that can't be had by anyone that ever was or will be except for me. When I feel that desire, the desire to give that gift, and no one can stop me from giving that gift. I don't need a bestsellers list. Right? I don't need a company. I don't need a television show. I need to say, I am the king, I am the queen in my unique circle of intimacy and influence. And I am the power. And I participate in the infinity of power. You ever seen a jet plane? It's propelled by jet power. Right? You ever seen a rocket ship? The power that propels it into orbit? That's a joke. That's a minuscule bad joke compared to the power that drives 52 trillion cells inside of me, right? Moved by literally, right, infinite power, desiring my unique finitude and desiring and needing the gorgeous expression of my power. I want to, you ready for this? We all take ourselves out. We take ourselves out, right? Wow. Let's put ourselves back in, and let's hear the power of the Evolutionary Church Choir, right? The full power of that song as we say, I am power. Yes. Oh my God. Holy Evolutionary Church Choir, right, from all over the world. Let's give them a huge hand. All over the world, thousands of us, Evolutionary Church. Amen. Yes, and there are thousands of friends. Friends, imagine this. There are thousands of us who have joined Evolutionary Church. Imagine what's going to happen when Evolutionary Church, right, motivated, sourced, right, by our power, together, power for, right, has not 700,000 people. It has 7 million and then 70 million people. It's an uprising, then has 1 billion rising. And all of a sudden, the self-organizing universe, right, organized towards unique self-symphonies, planetary awakening and love through unique self-symphonies, changes the very face of the planet, which every human being knows, I am power, and I love your power. And we surrender to each other, even as we honor the dignity and divinity of each other's power. It's not someone else who's going to do it. It's us. Have the most gorgeous, stunning week ever, and be filled with the delight, the dignity, and the divinity of your power. And so, and the word is good. Amen. Have a gorgeous week, everyone. Holy Evolutionary Church Choir, welcome. Yes. Woo! Hallelujah.